Good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets Crypto, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 1st of April. All right, great. All the new monthly pivots are on, they'll be on the charts I'm posting. On Bitcoin, it's at 84,742, and we are seeing a little bit of a rally here, but we've got a bear flag which is broken down. But I do have an intriguing possibility here. Looking at the 60-minute chart, we had an RSI 14 buy signal. That's now made target, by the way. But we do have a potential. This is a perfect channel. I'm always looking out for these things. But we could be looking here at a channel, and we could potentially go up to resistance. I'm a bit skeptical. This is the only one I've got like this. There's really no chance that there is a larger bear flag forming on really any of the equities except Dire, and I didn't see an obvious one on Dire, and I'm not really seeing or anything else, but nonetheless that is a perfect bear flag channel. So I am wondering whether we might possibly move up and make this target. The other thing is we've got an IHS here that hasn't failed yet. Now, obviously, that won't fail till we get down to about 79.9k, but potentially this IHS target in the 92,000 area is still open. So I'm watching this with interest. I'm not really expecting a great deal from it, but it's interesting. Looking at Solana. Solana new monthly pivot is at 138.89. And I'm really expecting to see some resistance at the daily middle band, which we're pretty close to a retest. How close are we to a retest of that on Bitcoin? We've got that at 84.427, so it's a bit above, not a great deal. That would be interesting if we get back over it. Looking at Solana on the hourly chart, no obvious, I see I drew in one line there, but I'm not really seeing anything that would match. But I am wondering if possibly this might be a bigger flag for me, in which case we could see a bit of a bounce, but I'm not seeing a great deal to see it. We had an RSI 14 buy signal fix there on the alley as well, and that's now made target. So in terms of the 15-minute chart, not really seeing an awful lot suggesting this goes up here. Looking at Ethereum, we've got a weak RSI 14 buy signal fix, and we've almost reached the retest of the low here, but we've not quite reached it, and that's got a flag with a target down there too. I'm expecting that to be reached. That's at 1754. We've got down to 1767 so far. Which is very, very close. I am wondering whether that could be the second low of double bottom, and we do have some nice looking bigger overall patterns here. So we will see how that develops. Certainly, if I was thinking we'd be about to make a big low, I'd be thinking more on crypto than I would on equities. But the chances are, historically, that if equities goes down hard, it's probably going to drag crypto with it. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, let's have a quick look at questions. Yeah, thanks. I needed to do that, and I have to say I read it very carefully because obviously people are a little sensitive about these things, but you've got to discuss these things to talk about the economic impact. But I think I wanted to do that one before I did the post, basically talking about the possibility that SPX is heading back to 4,100, because otherwise people are, going to be saying, why on earth would it do this? But actually, there's a very good reason it might do that. So I wanted to get that out there. Might lose a couple of subscribers today, but people who are trading need to be realistic about what's actually happening, and that's what's actually happening, or at least what may happen. I wouldn't be astonished to see that road back on tomorrow, but so far all the talk has been it's definitely coming. Yeah, I think I lost a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about tariffs. People are a little sensitive on the subject, but chances are, they're all realistic enough to actually, read what's actually happening. And to be honest, anyone in the markets tends to be more economically literate. And the fact is, declaring economic war on the world all at once, particularly while you're doing major cuts in federal spending, it just puts an awful lot of the economy at risk. And yeah, so with any luck, we will see. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. I'll catch you tomorrow morning, and tomorrow morning we'll find out whether it is actually going to happen on crypto. That can have a big effect. If we see stocks crater, and we could over the next few weeks, I'm wondering whether this is going to do what nothing else so far had done, and actually put Bitcoin in the bear market. Not in terms of losing 20%, because that's not actually a big issue on crypto. But in terms of lots of things breaking support, breaking that 69k to 70k area, and potentially Ethereum and Solana, which were both in big support areas, losing their support there, which is not something I'd like to see, but something we might see. All right, brilliant. Anyway, I'll catch you tomorrow, and watch out for the post today, mate.